Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me, Titleist, the clear number one ball in golf, FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Better, when the greats bet, they bet with Better. Ping will help you play your best. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Now, here's Nick and Mark.
G'day everybody, this is a Friday feedback pod and I'm not sure what's coming our way, Nicholas.
No clue, but I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
That's
You too, I like the orange.
Thank you. I like the orange. I should wear more orange.
Yeah.
You guys right there? You want to do any more fashion talk?
We're giving each other some Friday feedback.
Oh, okay, on the tops. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Any feedback on your haircuts while you're there? Or?
I think your hair's looking magnificent.
I'm about to get a haircut.
Yeah, I got a new brush the other day. When's the last time you brushed your hair, Dan?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's all right. That's uncalled for.
That is uncalled for.
You brush your beard. Your beard, hey,
you
your beard looks very nice.
You are.
There you go.
Okay, you are a rat bag. Okay.
Just sometimes.
Righto, this one here from Ando. As a member of New South Wales Golf Club, I often hear you talk about the wind at our course. While it is certainly strong at times, it's really part of what makes links golf and our course such fun to play. Ironically, each year we play an inter-club event against Victorian Golf Club, and in September last year, we were taken off Victoria due to high winds when the siren was blown.
Wow.
And we never got out to finish the round. We don't have a siren at New South Wales, interestingly. I do enjoy the show, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts when you play the newly renovated New South Wales. You will love it.
Well, we've got to go. So I don't know when we do this, but we've actually got to go to Sydney.
I'm trying to think when I'm going to be in Sydney next.
And we've got to play. Well, we don't even have to play. We just need to see Royal Sydney.
I want to play it.
Well, I'd like to play it. And we definitely need to see or play New South Wales because, like I said many times, I've heard the work done to both courses is just fabulous.
Luke heard you talking about the Tasmanian AM being played at 7 Mile.
Yes, the Tasmanian Amateur Championship.
And Lucas said, heads up, boys, 7 Mile Beach is 100% open, has been for a little while now. Lots of mainlanders coming down to play it. It's a great course.
Yeah.
A friend of mine went and played because he heard the pod the other day. He's an avid listener, and he came back and said, loved it. He said, may need a year or two to settle in, as new courses do, but he says, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Most people are saying it's a little bit thin at the moment, and that's fine. It'll get thicker and thicker, and the grass will look amazing. But like we get very separate reports. Some people say it is unbelievable, and some others are saying, "Oh, it's a very tough place, and maybe I'm not going back." So there's only one way, Nick.
Got to go and do
another course we need to go down and have a look at.
I know.
Willow loves hearing stories from caddies, which is interesting. I love hearing the stories of Billy Foster when he was on Seve's bag, and I don't reckon Seve would ever have listened to Billy.
Now, that's interesting.
Back then,
Billy was,
I don't know, that's a good
maybe
call.
the best caddy in the whole world. He had a reputation for being an amazing caddy.
Yeah, but that was early doors. And his reputation was more, I'd say, from being one of the best in the mid-90s onwards.
Yeah.
I think when he was on Seve, he was still in the late 80s, early 90s, and Billy was still obviously a really good caddy, but he was in his, what would you say, in his rookie years, I guess you'd say. As
he's always forthright. I think that's what happens. I mean, if you're quite often, how often it is when you used to play with somebody, and quite often you would notice the caddy. You go, I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, Billy would have been.
Or I
one
don't
of
like
those.
what he's doing.
Yeah, that's right. Or the complete opposite.
It's funny when Alana and I were looking for caddies, Alana would keep an eye on the other caddies, what they were doing, like on the putting green or on the. I'm focused on the game, and she would go, nope, nope, or maybe yes, okay,
that's right.
Yeah, we keep an eye on them.
That's right. I know all the caddies that I picked up, I'd seen them work before. Playing with somebody. So Trev McDonald is where I got my first full-time caddy. His name was Con, and I think I played with him at Vic Open at Woodlands Golf Club many moons ago. And I was watching Con, I was going, this guy's unbelievable. How good is he? He did everything right. He did the numbers. He helped, how often is it when Trevor might have been in a bunker and I wasn't?
Yeah.
or the
He'd
other
come
way
and
around,
clean your ball,
he'd clean
all
the
that sort of
ball,
stuff,
he'd
yeah,
break a
yeah.
bunker for. He did all the things you'd just go, I want you on my team, kid. You're a star. And Con was fabulous, a really good caddy.
This from Christopher. Talking about caddies, when do we get to meet Wilbur on Talk Birdie?
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good question. I think we should get him on at some stage. Yeah. He'd love it too.
What would be his specialty? What would be what's a reason to get him on?
Talking about caddies, caddy story. He's got some great stories.
Has he got some good stories?
Yeah.
Oh well,
very much so.
Well, that's a mini. That's a mini.
We can do a mini with Wilbur.
Yeah, we just want 3 stories.
Yeah, sure.
So here's the other thing as well. Nick O'Hearn is a reputation, a bit of a clean cut, nice guy.
Right.
You're very, you're not a sort of an edgy, risky kind of out there kind of character.
No reputation at all.
However,
I was hoping.
However, you will have a skeleton somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
you will have a skeleton, and I reckon Wilbur would know it.
Yeah, probably.
I hope he'd let us know what that skeleton
I'm
is.
sure he would.
Can you get in contact with him?
I
we
will.
just want 3 stories, 3 of his best.
Okay.
Plus a skeleton.
Plus a skeleton.
3 plus. All right.
That's
Three
right.
plus. Ian, g'day, gents.
Could be a top 5.
Yes,
Yeah.
could be.
G'day, gents. It's hard for me to understand why golf is the only human sport that handicaps people. Why don't we simply, as with other sports, practice, nominate a division, and the best player wins? To have handicaps with a decimal point, given that golfers of all levels can vary scores by several hole shots each game, seems very strange. Thank you for the show. Keen on your thoughts, Ian.
Well, I think they do. The most, some people think it's the most important tournament at a club is the club championships. And then there's always the championship, the A division, B division, C division. And that's done the way that our Wolfpacker suggests. What's his name, Dan?
Ian.
Ian suggests. So in club championships, that's already available. But I love the fact that I play with a couple of characters. One is Simon Beasley, and another character is Mark Sir.
Simon Beasley.
I
remember Simon from the Swan Districts days
There you
in
go.
the waffle.
Well, no one kicked more goals than Simon Beasley in the AFL, in the VFL. In the 80s. He kicked more goals than anybody else in the 80s. Anyway, so those guys, they play off 27 or 28 or something. I play with them every week. And I love the fact that we can play together because of handicaps.
Only sport in the world.
It's the only sport in the world. Well, except for maybe the Stall Gift, professional, racing, the sprinting. There are handicaps in that. I always found it difficult in tennis because all of my friends who were tennis players were great tennis players. And, if I was giving myself a handicap for tennis, a golf handicap for tennis, I was a 14 marker.
Okay.
So I could get it over there. I could serve and do all the rest of it. But, you play someone off single figures, they're just going to tower you up.
Yeah.
And we tried handicapping to where I'd start at 30. Every game started at love 30 or 30 love.
Yep.
And, a good player still walk over.
Still gets you.
smash
Yeah,
me.
no, I get it.
So it just didn't work. It didn't work. I couldn't start every game at love 40 or 40 love. Because I just got to win one point.
Mistake, yeah. No,
So it's either the game finishes too quickly or I get embarrassed too quickly, one or the other.
Either which is a funny thing from us. This is a good question. This comes from actually, Nick. How would you say this name here? How would you say that? Andre? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Andre.
Andre.
Okay. Andre has got a ripper question for you two that we will put to you after the turn.
Okay.
Front 9, back 9, or eyeing the 19th hole, wherever you are in life, Host Plus can help you drive your retirement further. That's a plus.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. I mean, it feels so solid.
That's as consistent as it gets.
Oh my gosh, it's good, man. I feel hot.
I'm glad if they play a different driver, because I know this one's the best.
It's the best feeling driver I've ever hit.
Power tools, battery packs, chargers running long after the job's done. Tradies rely on lithium batteries, but overcharging can shorten battery life or create a serious risk of fire at home. SwitchStar power points automatically cut power after up to 8 hours of charging. No apps, no Wi-Fi. Just plug in and walk away. When you forget, SwitchStar doesn't. SwitchStar. Every home should have one.
Some courses perfect the landscape, others the experience, and every now and then, both come together. Golf Flute exists to bring dreams to life. A chance for you and your crew to live the stories you've only heard about. Journey crafted. Memories waiting. The kind of trip you'll talk about for the rest of your life because of who you shared it with. Some dreams sit just out of reach until someone hands you the key. Yours is waiting. Join the club.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie to Me, Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me, the golf clearance outlet. They beat everyone's prices. Ping will help you play your best and better, ahead of the game. Now for Titleist, the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick and Mark.
Okay, welcome back. Andre
has said, hello, Nick and Mark. With all the chat about whether a scratch male golfer can beat an LPGA Tour professional, I would like to adjust the question slightly. And I'd like to know whether Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen today could beat an LPGA Tour professional. I know you're both now former touring pros, but you're still currently very good players with a lot of experience. And I would like to hear your thoughts on this hypothetical scenario. Whoa, this could be interesting. Nick and Mark, today, would you beat an LPGA Tour pro?
Well, it's different for us because one of the great things this argument always has is that if you're a scratch player and you never played in a professional tournament before, then I think you're pretty much you're forgetting the tournament pressure scenario.
Yeah.
You're cooked because if you turned up and played in a 72-holer, let's say it's the Women's US Open, alrighty, the tournament pressure would get them every time. Now, if you turned up tomorrow and played in a US Women's Open
tomorrow. I'm playing pretty good at the
moment. Let's go back.
I'm kidding.
How old are you now? 55?
54.
54. So let's go back 15 years.
I'm Liv.
When you were 40 years old, the US Open pressure wouldn't bother you one bit.
No. Well,
not a bit.
When I'm saying not bother me, of course it bothers you, but I can deal with it.
That's right.
Because I know I had the body of work that will allow me to perform.
That's right.
Now I don't have the body of work because I don't practice anymore. I just have the odd social game.
That's right. So I can give you a scenario too. So when I was working at SCN and I was 45, every once in a while the Vic Open would give me an invitation.
Nice.
I was fine. No worries. I missed the cut, but I only missed the cut by one or two shots in the men's Victorian Open when I was 45 and hadn't played professional golf for a long time because of that body of work. So for you and I, it's a little bit different, but
it's a good question.
Our question,
the question is
today, you're at 54 or 5. Yeah. I'm at 57.
Yep. Well, now if you're talking about, Hannah Green just won. We're not going to beat Hannah. I mean, it's pretty simple. She'd be out driving us, I'd say.
That's right. So let's take Hannah out of the picture.
Yeah, you're talking your average LPGA player.
Your average player.
Someone who finishes 40th or 50 on the money list.
So one of our girls. Who's one of our girls?
I don't know.
Cassie.
Like Cassie or a Karis Davidson or someone like that.
Karis Davidson.
Good player. She's playing really well.
I know.
I played with her actually at the Cathedral Invitational a while ago, a couple of years ago maybe.
Karis would be outside the top 50 in the world though, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
She'd be maybe 100 in the world. So let's start there.
Say around that. Yep.
If Karis came to Kingston Heath and played with me in the Wednesday comp, where I'm very comfortable.
Same tees.
I reckon it'd be toss of a coin who'd win.
Really?
But these days,
in the Wednesday comp, fair enough.
We played in the Australian Open, right? So I played a lot of Australian Opens. So
if you had the Australian Women's Open at Kooyonga recently,
and I was playing, I think the tournament pressure finally would knock me around a little bit. It would probably knock me around. It's been a long time. I stopped playing professional golf January 2004. So that's 22 years ago. I think at 57 and a little bit of pressure from the tournament golf, I think Karis towels me up.
Right, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You? Where are you at? So you were a different level professional than me.
If I did a little practice.
How much practice?
I don't know.
3 months.
Wouldn't. No. It's not going to make that much difference. I just need to put some reps in and get the
3
game
weeks.
feeling in good shape.
3 weeks at Cathedral?
I would fancy my chances.
3 weeks at Cathedral, same tees. Just a Wednesday comp.
Oh, same off the men's tees?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'd win that. So because I know Cathedral well, obviously.
Yes, that's right.
Off the same tees. I mean, I think when I played with her, she played really well. They were off their forward tees, and she's got a really good game.
Yeah. I'm the same as that at Kingston. At Kingston, I'd be very comfortable taking it on, and I think I'd toss a coin.
If we go, so that example of Kooyonga recently, I love Kooyonga. I love
Kooyonga.
Australian Open, Women's Open. I don't know what I'd shoot. If I put a bit of practice in, a bit of time, I think I could handle my own. I'm not going to win the tournament.
It's very strange talking about us playing a women's tournament.
I would like to. I think it's funny. People always said to me, I think you're built for the Champions Tour. This is when I was 35 because of my length and old school play. I think now I'm probably built for the length of the women's tour because length isn't that big a factor. Now, when you play courses, for example, last week they had Hilton Head free. Okay, that course suited me down to the ground. I always played great there because I could hit driver everywhere. Those players are hitting irons a lot of the time off the tee. Yeah. Colonial was another example. So you put me on a course that's shorter where you got to use a bit of craft and a bit of art. I reckon I could still do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's an outrageous thing to say. People will find it outrageous.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't think that's an outrageous thing to say at all. Can I tell you?
With some practice.
Yeah, you need 3 weeks.
I mean,
I'll give you 4.
Are we talking a 4-day tournament? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Because
we're talking about the Australian Open.
Yeah, you got 4 days of golf.
Kooyonga.
So 4 rounds is a roller coaster, as we know. You
Karis
go up
would
and
turn
down
up in the
over
first
times.
season. She wouldn't feel one bit of nerves at the Australian Open. Not one. Not one butterfly.
Of course she would.
Oh, maybe one.
I felt loads of nerves whenever I played in Australian Open.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, you have to. If you're not nervous on the first tee.
I was a little bit nervous. Not a little bit. Not a lot nervous.
I was
I'd
absolutely.
rip it off the first every time. Excited to be there.
Why didn't you win?
Open.
What happened? Jeez. But it's a great question from Andrea.
Yeah.
So,
Can I tell you this? When I first finished in 2000, when I finished January 2004, the SEN radio station started in the same day, same month. So I was the golf expert thrown in, and probably about 3 or 4 years later, so how old was I? I was I was 35 years old. And someone called up and had the same question back then.
Right.
And because I was so fresh out of the game, they asked me, I flippantly said I'd be the number 1 player in the world if I was on the women's tour. Right? That's when I was 35.
Yeah.
When I was 35.
Oh, when you're 35.
That's when I was 35 and just out of the game. So I told KB that I would be the number 1 player in the world if I was a female.
You ripped apart?
So for the next 3 years, I was introduced as Mark Allen, our golf expert, and if he was a woman, he would be the number 1 player in the world.
Yeah. All I can tell you now is the women's tours, wherever you go, they're amazing. They are incredibly consistent players, and that's the key, consistency. They don't really make mistakes. The +3 or 4 markers, like myself, I mean, now I'm a +2 or a +3 at these days. I still make plenty of mistakes because, again, it's the inconsistency. But when you're playing week in and week out on tours, on different golf courses every week, under that sort of pressure, you become tournament hardened.
That's right.
And that's where, when I say I fancy my chances, I'm regretting what I actually said just then. I reckon it'd be a struggle. I would say. No, it would be a struggle.
I'd back you.
It would all depend on the golf.
Not to disgrace yourself.
Yeah, I could not disgrace myself.
Yes.
It would be. It would all depend on the golf course. Put it that way.
Kooyonga.
Yeah, Kooyonga. I love that.
Royal
course.
Melbourne. Composite.
Yeah,
No
love
worries.
Royal Melbourne. Love it.
Okay. Well, there you go. What about Shadow Creek?
Shadow Creek. I've never played it.
That's right. That's why I asked.
I've never played it.
That's why I asked.
It looked really tough.
So it's a course you don't know.
Yeah.
But the girls do know.
They do know. Yeah. Well, that's why
It goes in their favour.
The thing about pro golfers is you adapt really quickly.
That's right.
And even if I play a course these days and you play a course these days, you adapt quickly, right?
If I had Con on the bag or
I'd get Wilbur over for a week.
If you had Wilbur, you'd walk on that first tee. You'd know exactly.
We'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, while we're talking about women golfers, this is fun. This comes from James. James has said, Mark, I recently met you when you were at Huntingdale for the opening day. My wife, Jo, has taken up golf in the last year. A couple of Fridays ago, she holed her 7-iron second shot at the new par 4 fifth for 2.
Wow.
With her playing handicap of 45. That was a 2 for 7 points. I would say
2 for
that's
7.
pretty
2
rare.
for 7.
I've never heard of a 7-pointer. I've heard of a 6-pointer.
45. So did she get 3 shots on that hole? She must have.
Well, must have, yeah.
Yeah. 2 for 7.
2 for 7. So that's a net -1. When you get 3 shots. So I guess it is a 7-pointer.
It's crazy, isn't it? Have you ever had a 5-pointer? I've never had a 5-pointer.
Oh, I'm sure
I've had 4-pointers when I was a kid.
I'm sure when I was a kid, I would have, had a shot on a hole and hold the shot and had a 5-pointer.
I remember playing match play against a guy once in a club comp where this guy had 2 shots on a par 3.
Yeah.
Made a birdie.
Yeah.
So if I had a hole in one, I still lost the hole.
You still lost the hole.
Yeah. So that's the beauty about.
Oh, that's hilarious, though.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Okay, this one comes from David. Hey guys, I inquired about membership at a course south of Brisbane recently. However, looking at the social play booking page, it said no personal buggies or scooters allowed. Now, I've got a scooter, so I've decided to find another course. I've also heard in the past some clubs charge you if you use your own buggy. That is true. Do you think this is acceptable and is it legal? Well, I don't know if it's illegal, but if it's acceptable. Or can clubs apply whatever conditions they want? Thanks, David.
Well, look, some people leave their buggy at the course and there is a charge for that because they charge it and
storage fee,
and all the rest of it. But
if
you live on a golf course, and you do the storage and you do the charging and the cleaning, the whole lot, be a bit rich for the club that charge you.
You're talking about a motor ride on?
I'm talking about a golf cart.
A golf cart, as in a push or pull.
As in a drive.
A driving one, yeah.
It's in your garage. You live on the course. I'd be staggered if the golf course
shouldn't be charging
you,
no,
unless there's some kind of a toll for the.
I know some courses
paths
don't allow. They do allow motorised buggies, but it's only for people with medical certificates and things like that. Now, if you bring your own, I'm not sure you'd be allowed. Number one,
I'm not sure. The medical certificate's a pretty easy thing to produce if you know your doctor well.
True,
it's pretty simple. So,
anyway,
look, I'd be disappointed if you've got a golf scooter and clubs allowed golf scooters, because not every club allows golf scooters. But if you had a golf scooter and the club allowed you to play golf with the scooter, I'd be staggered if they could charge you as well.
I don't think I've ever played with anyone with a golf scooter. Is that where you just sit on it?
No, when you stand on it.
Stand on it.
It's a scooter, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it does seem a little harsh, I must admit, if that is indeed the case.
Oh, look, I wish you well, and I hope you find a club that looks after you.
Well,
we want you out there playing golf.
Okay, we might wrap up on, hang on, what have I got here? This one here. Okay. This comes from Craig. Guys, love the podcast. I've recommended it to everyone I know.
Good on you, Craig.
Good on you, Craig.
Thank you.
I've got a question for you, Nick. Rory talked about spending weeks at Augusta leading up to the Masters recently. Now, is this something that every player would have access to do if they chose to, or is the course more openly available only if you're a past champion? If it is available to all players once you're invited, how early do you get access? Cheers, Craig.
Nice one, Craig.
Very good question. I don't know the specific rules these days. I can tell you back in the day when I played it, yes, you could have access to the course
early?
Well in advance. I mean,
month?
Yeah, probably a month or two, I'd say.
Otherwise, it wouldn't even be open a month before. 2 months would be cold, wouldn't it?
There's almost no point going 2 or 3 months ahead of time because the course isn't anything like what you're about to play. So usually 2 or 3 weeks in advance is probably about the right amount of time. That's what Jack Nicklaus used to do, Rory McIlroy, all those, he just did it as well. So you can get access. Rory, he went and played and everything. He could because being a past championship, but you have to play with a member. So I think in Rory's case, he was fine. You got to play with
a member?
If you're not a past champion. Yes. I believe you have to play with a member.
See, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, well, that's fine.
But everyone has the same chance.
Wouldn't be nice.
I mean, Rory didn't get any favours or anything.
So how'd they organise a member for you if you went there and played early?
I didn't. I went on there on the Saturday, Sunday before, and you can do it the weekend before without playing with a member.
Okay.
So, but yes, I'm sure the club would arrange it. Members would be happy to play with a guy who's about to play the Masters.
It was interesting that Rory got a bit of criticism for doing that. People saying, it was an unfair advantage. I read that and thought, actually, that seems really smart to me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
No one, hey, Jack Nicklaus has been doing it for a million years. Yeah. No one ever said anything about Jack Nicklaus going early and putting in the work before the Masters week.
Maybe the fact he spoke about taking his private jet after dropping his kid off at school and then flying back home that afternoon might have had something to do with it. They were
maybe.
Yeah.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Who cares?
That's the feedback, the Friday feedback pod for today. Before we go though, you talk about Jack. Can we just finish the show, Nick, with your Jack Nicklaus impersonation? Because that's hilarious.
My Jack Nicklaus impersonation?
Was
I think
you?
it's you.
Yeah, yours voice.
Yeah. Oh, it's Mark's.
I think it's Mark's, not mine.
Go on, give us another go.
I can do Seve. You can do.
Oh, you can do Seve.
What's Jack famous for saying?
Gosh, I don't know.
I saw a clip of him the other day. I'll send it through. You can tag it on the end, and it's a lesson he got from Arnold Palmer. He's talking about just putting when off the green.
Sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Yes, that's right. If you can do a Mickey Mouse, you can do a Jack Nicklaus. Good on you, Jack. We love you, mate. Here's the clip of a great tip that he got from Arnold Palmer.
What a legend.
One tip that I got, which really changed how I played around the green, and it was from Arnold. 1962, Arnold and I are playing a practice round at Palm Springs, and I'm chipping every ball off the edge of the green. And I mean, I don't care whether I've got a 5-iron, 6-iron, 9-iron, or what it is, and I'm sitting there hitting these little chip shots, boom, and they're rolling up 3, 4, 5 feet from the hole. And Arnold said, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I'm just chipping." And he says, "Think about something." He said, "Think about that chip. How good was that chip?" I said, "How far? How good was it?" "It was 4 feet from the hole." I said, "That's a pretty good chip." He says, "Well, let's take your putter. What would happen if you were in the same exact place and you use your putter for the same shot? Would 4 feet be acceptable?" He said, "That'd be a pretty bad putt." Well, sort of think about that. Maybe your worst putt will be just as good as your best chip. Now, sure, you might chip the ball closer sometimes, but you're not going to hit the ball very far from the hole with a putter. So he told me, he says, put that chip and iron away. Let's get the putter out. When you're off the green, let's put it off the green. I use that the rest of my life. And I always give clinics now, and I'm walking up and people say, "Well, what would you do from here?" I said, "Well, 11 times out of 10, I'd putt it." And that's what I do.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen. Live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. The golf clearance outlet, they beat everyone's prices. Better, ahead of the game. Ping will help you play your best. And Host Plus, they can help you drive your retirement further. Now that's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. This is general advice. Consider the PDS and TMD on our website before deciding. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and share the pod with a friend. Talk Birdie to Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie to Me.